plushiest ear cups, period. Hello and thank you for clicking on this video. I'll be sharing my experience on the Sivga Luan. This is an open back dynamic driver headphone with a 50mm dynamic driver unit coming in at $300. Before we begin, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Sivga for sending this unit in exchange for my honest opinion. But as always, all thoughts and opinions are my own. And if you could help support the channel by hitting that like and subscribe button, I'd appreciate it a lot. Now that's all out of the way, let's quickly talk about unboxing. The famous or infamous crack case from Sivga. I'm sure there's already plenty of comments about the crack in the case. I mean, I hope I don't get demonetized for this, but I don't understand why Sivga just don't take the line in the middle way. It still fit the purpose unless it's deliberate because everyone is talking about the crack case. Thus, it's ingenious marketing as Sivga's name will pop up in association with the crack case. Other than the crack, it has some legs at the bottom to make it stand upwards, which is honestly really convenient in terms of putting it away. There's some heft to the case as well, and that brown looks really nice. All in all, it's still a nice case to protect your headphones, although a little on the bigger side, so it's not as portable as some other headphone cases, but it does the job. You might be asked to leave the premise if you prop this up in a library. Opening the case up, you'll be greeted by the headphones, which is tucked away perfectly within the case. There's a separate carry bag which stores a 3.5 to 6.4mm converter, and it also comes with the cable which has two 3.5mm connectors and it terminates in 3.5mm, and this cable does not live up to the rest of the package. There's a lot of love on the case and even the headphones, which I'll talk about shortly, but the cable looks and feels like an afterthought. There's a bit of design on the terminations, but it's a simple black cable with a rubbery texture. It's plain and simple, it does the job, but for headphones like these, it deserves a better cable. At least that's what it felt like for me. The design of the headphones themselves are just beautiful. You have like a walnut colored wood veneer finish around the cups, black grills in the middle, a silver band which is very similar to HiFiMan's HE1000 or Aria's headband design with the strap in the middle. I like how they use the silver color to contrast with all the dark theme color all around the headphone. The headband is also meant to just rest on your head for weight distribution, but there's some cushioning there to help with that. It's also adjustable, but instead of notches, it's one smooth motion, which is good and bad, since to make them both perfectly even, it would be impossible to gauge, so it's all about adjusting it to feel. There's the left and right side inside the ear cups, and the ear cups themselves, look at all that plush. They're just so soft. It's like a huge circle and it tapers inwards to the driver. It may not be the best ear cups for really hot summer days, but if you just want something soft resting on your ears while you enjoy your music, this ear cup is the standard. All in all, in terms of design, I think this is a very sleek looking headphone. Of all the dark colored headphones I have, I do not doubt this would be one of the standouts. They have another color variant which has similar colors as the case, and as good as the darker theme looks, that brighter color scheme is simply gorgeous. I'm honestly in love with that color scheme. There's something vintage or soft about that color, and no other headphones, at least from recent memory, that looks like that. It just stands out from the crowd. The darker color, as I said, still looks really good, but it's a lot more subtle in comparison. I like how as you're closing this headphone, the earpads just rest on each other, unlike many headphones where this open gap in the middle. The only other headphone to do this would be the HiFiMan headphones in the Aria or HE1000 series. By the way, what I'm saying is just makes it feel a little bit more compact. In terms of fit and comfort, bringing Manny the mannequin out again for support, coming in at 354 grams, this is a very lightweight headphone, and coupled with the ear cups, I can wear this headphone for hours no problem, even with my spectacles on. It doesn't have a lot of clamping force, but it still fits securely on your head. It's just so comfortable, at least for me personally. So let's talk about sound. Whether or not you believe in burn-in, I felt this headphone needed some break-in, and once that's all in, the Sivga Luan presents a sound that is very clean. The bass has some speed to its attack, which is surprising coming from a dynamic driver. There's still some punch and slam, but it's just missing a touch of that weight that typically comes from a dynamic driver. Maybe it's the open back nature of it that helps give it that speed that's almost like a planar bass attack where it's fast, but of course it's not as fast as a planar headphone. However, the mid-range is kept relatively lean and clean as well. If you prefer a little bit more richness to your vocals, then the Sivga Luan might sound a bit on the leaner side, but it still put the vocals in the forefront and there's some sense of clarity to their voices. The background music is still audible, but it doesn't take the spotlight away from the singer. There's also some energy from the upper regions of the frequency. I might put a mild caution for treble sensitive people. It sounds like it's a little boosted on the treble extension where trumpet has that attack and sharpness, that openness, but I think it's crossing over to the side of being a little too thin. But in terms of overall clarity, sound openness and energy, it's all there. Imaging and resolution on this headphone is decent for its asking price. You can hear the macro details, but I feel it's missing a little bit of that depth in the sound stage, which I'm not sure if the design of the headphone is limiting that factor. So the micro details, depending on how busy the tracks are, can get a little lost. So it's definitely not the final word on resolution for the Sivga Luan, but it still delivers in that aspect, especially at this price range. All in all, the Sivga Luan presents a very fast, open, clean and energetic sound presentation that is very enjoyable, but I would have liked a little bit more bass to synergize with the amount of treble that this headphone brings, but that's just personal preference. So the only other headphone I can compare to this at this moment would be something like the HiFiMan Deva Pro, as they both have somewhat similar presentations when it comes to the upper regions. However, the Deva Pro still presents the details a touch better and is about $100 cheaper, but the Sivga Luan has a lot more bass energy and it delivers a sound presentation that will be more enjoyable, and that comfort from the Sivga Luan is simply unrivaled. The Deva Pro stood no chance in terms of comfort, but it's also harder to drive than the Sivga Luan. So in terms of source, because of that energy in the upper region, I typically pair the Sivga Luan with slightly warmer sources. I tried putting this on the topping stack and the energy in the upper regions was enhanced in a way where I think it'll hurt treble sensitive people. So even something like the iFi Audio Zen Air stack would do the job, as bringing up the X bass feature from the Zen Air can will give it a bit more body and warmth than what it already has, and that's what I typically used with this headphone. The Sivga Luan and the Zen Air stack pairing with the X bass on is a joy to listen. So to sum it all up, I'll just put this out there. As of now, this is one of the most comfortable headphones I've ever worn, and all the reviews about the comfort of this headphone still stands true to this day. And apart from sound, I think comfort plays a huge factor in choosing your headphone for daily use. And as for sound, it presents a very clean presentation with some energy that'll cater for a lot of genre of music. If Sivga decides to release a sequel to this headphone, then a little bit more sub-bass and body to the notes, shave a little bit of the post 10K region to give it a bit more roundness, and that would help elevate what this headphone already presents. But all in all, I really enjoyed this experience of the Sivga Luan. However, these are based on one man's experience and I'm curious to know yours. Do you own the Sivga Luan and what are your experiences like? Comment below, let me know, and once again, thank you to Sivga for this experience and to all of you for watching. Until the next video, take care and happy listening.